Good day and welcome, I'm Mechanization, and today I just have to do this video. It's for all the subscribers and viewers of my channel who are regular, and also to people who just like stats or have their own YouTube channel. I want to compare with some other ones. I want to maybe use this table to capture your own stats, as you might see later on, which if it's useful for you or not. I'll go through the stats, I'll show you, everyone, how the channel went, if it grew, how it grew, and where I would like to be next year. Also, later on, the bounce mark is here at the bottom. I'll talk about the challenges that are upcoming, because in about 2 weeks, not just even 2 weeks, at 28th of January, I'll be in Lithuania for half a year as on part of Erasmus exchange, and I'll probably have teacher practice there. So that will be kind of problematic to mix up with this. However, I'll talk about this later on. Let's now focus on stats. So the screen that you have right in front of you, those are just general stats for every single month since January. I've added those. There is no growth in here simply because, well, there is nothing to grow from. It's not like there was nothing before January, but I just didn't include it, so let's put 0 in here. And the fact that I started in January doesn't make much sense, because in January the channel itself started at around 2014. Maybe 13 actually, when I started streaming. I used to stream Scrolls. It was a very small channel. I had maximum of like 20 people, but it was the only Scrolls channel and it was kind of fun, and that's when I started my YouTube. However, I generally get back to it and returned and stopped again, and this year it's the first time when I actually had enough time and had enough willpower to sustain and gradually give out content, because I wasn't focusing on what I thought that I really want to do, but I slightly focused on what I'm enjoying more and what I want to do and what I feel like I should do. So all of these three things combined led to this, and I actually started uploading again in March, and that's where you can see the difference. So let me just explain what's going on in here. The random adventure roguelike is a video which on my channel had the majority of views. You can see the ratio in here. This is the ratio of random adventure roguelike compared to everything else. Simply, what was this? So this video was published in March 2015, and in March the developer named Arkisun, also known as Luis, just asked me whether he can use it as a main video in his Google Play, and I said of course, yes, no problem. And people seem to enjoy it, as it is mostly gameplay, commented gameplay, and some interactions within the game. It's 20 minutes long video, nothing actually that would be like this super action movie style video that you can find with Clash of Clans and these things. No, this represented the game itself. And the fact that the game has, I think, around 100,000 downloads right now just shows that it is successful, it is pretty good, and I'm glad that he chose this video, because it gave me some basic viewers. And you can see that the ratio was 93%, which was insane. There were some videos beforehand, not real successful. As you can see, monthly average was 117, which was highly based on this one. So on my own, I had like 246 views on my channel. Not that great, considering it's a whole month. It's less than 10. However, in February it got even worse, and in March I started uploading stuff again. It was mostly Hearthstone and some other things. In April it continued, but I uploaded my first 940M performance video, which was The Witcher. In May Dark Souls came. However, June was kind of lowered. July 2, I'm not sure what happened. This is the time when I started, I think April, May, LPNA of Might and Magic 6. And as I continued, it actually grew and grew. The difference between August and September, okay, the July and August is mostly, I think, No Man's Sky. And September, let me just turn off the opera. And September was the time when I released WoW videos. So this grew and grew and grew, and now we're at over 10,000, which is insane to me. The monthly average of over 500 is a day is something that I wasn't expecting, considering that at the beginning, like, there was random adventure roguelike, and that was it, maybe 10 videos a day. So a skyrocket jump from 200 or 300 to 13,000 is, to me, completely insane, and I have to thank all of you. I have also included these little stats just for me. Let me show you all of these. So these are overall in quarter, between quarters, so this shows the difference in the videos, including adventure roguelike, inside the quarter. So January had this, March had this, however between quarters this was the previous quarter and this was this quarter. And you can see right now that it grew quite heavily, and this quarter itself had more views than the rest of the year combined. Like, this half a year had more than previous year together. That's to me completely stunning. In here you can see besides random adventure roguelike, and that is like, this is pretty small. However, in here it starts to grow, and in here it's completely insane. It's more than the rest of the channel combined together. I'm really glad that this is happening, because it shows me that some people are interested in what I'm doing as just a hobby. I have no money from this, actually. I haven't been able to check out from Google at all yet. There might be something in, I don't know, 1 or 2 months, but it will be like a minimum. So it's really just a hobby, just something that I'm enjoying, that helps me vocalize what I'm thinking about when I'm playing, and see, I'm kind of interested in what this laptop can actually do. So these 940 and HD videos, performances, they are also for me, because I'm interested in what this machine can actually do and what this machine can actually take. Of course, there are some changes. For example, here you can see the phone, TV, and all these things. This is a bit of a switch, as you can see that it started on a phone, which shows that just how much Google Play was important at that moment. That phones and tablets had this, and computer was pretty weak at that point. However, right now computer is major one, and phones and tablets combined have more or less the same as computers, which is pretty neat. If I go over from the general ones, I'll show you the monthly increases. Now these are the stats that some people are pretty surprised by, I'm gonna say, because it's day by day by day by day, and it changes the whole thing. This is once again, random adventure roguelike. You can see that at the end of here it had this, the single video. There is the ratio at the end, there is the ratio at the beginning. The average changes all the time. Days, as in here. I'm not sure why I have double days there. And overall is all combined. However, what I started doing is the difference, and here at the end it shows my own difference. So besides random adventure roguelike, growth in between, and all these things, daily views, can see this. However, I started adding more stuff later on, and it was in September and October when I started adding slightly more stuff to it. And I have graphs, so let me just show you this, if I can. Yep, I can. So this is the daily. These are the daily graphs that are. The blue one is viewers daily from Adventure Roguelike. on my own difference, so the rest of my videos is the red sign, daily views and average. So you can see that it really grows. It grows every single month. And in December it grew still, but you can see that towards the end my own videos just went down, and it is partially connected. The same was in here. This is connected to the cycle that buying has, where this huge bubble is Black Friday or Black Fridays, and this one is Christmas. So after people bought new laptops, they were interested in whether they can run it, or beforehand they were interested whether they can run it, and that is one of the reasons why it is all around the Black Friday, even before and after it, because some people bought it here, some people got it here, some people wanted to buy it here, they bought it here, they looked here, so that's it. However, on Christmas you can see that 24th and 25th are the major ones, and that's because people just get gifts. Not many people buy gifts for themselves. And this created a bit of a bubble. However, there is a visible difference between November and, let's say, September, where in September I have these things which show the amount of views per 5 days. So this is, for example, from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is 795. However, in December, this was over 3,000, around 2,000 here. I believe that in January, I'm not going to show the stats for January because this is about 2016 and the growth. January is right now a bit stronger than December was. However, it's on decline slightly, because every single time, from what I heard, YouTube tends to decline a bit in January, simply because, well, first of all, less revenue because companies are paying less for advertisement right now. Second of all, people are not really looking for that much for the stuff that I'm doing right now, because they were looking for this in November and December. And from what I saw, this is more or less true for all the channels that are gaming related, because people are just burned out, because September, more or less October, November and December are the times of major releases. So people have bought enough games, and right now January and February are the weakest ones when nothing new is more or less released. There is some smaller indie game, but that's it. So this is it, actually. These are the stats. If you have your own channel and you want to use those, there is the table in description. You can download it. There will be a completely free template, more or less free template. However, I'll show you one more thing, and these are the goals and averages. Now, you more or less saw this within the general tab, yet this is slightly different, as this shows growth in between in terms of averages. So you can see that there was this 100% growth and it went down to 30%, which is something that I would love to keep, 30%. Yet I know that it is impossible. And I'll show you just in a minute why. I just have to take a sip. So let's take a look at graphs, right? So I have those graphs based on predictions. These predictions are in here. These are like all including random adventure roguelike, so let's focus on my own. So the rest. It's weird to talk about on my own, considering that the video is the one that I have created, but the traffic is not really changeable. It's more or less, if you take a look, around 3,000. So I don't think that there will be any large increase. However, in here, there can be increase, and the increase is there. So this was the prediction I have done at at the beginning. So in August I started doing this, and in August I had 1795 in videos besides Random Roguelike Adventure. Afterwards, in September, there was this growth of 26%. This is based on number here. So this is based on July, which works. And as you can see, these numbers, in terms of dreams, which is dreams prediction, it's 30% growth, 1.3. And if this is correct, then probably by the end of this year I might have 119,000, if this were to be correct. Manageable is, I believe, 15%, so that is something that I would like to keep at minimum. Or more or less at minimum. This is the one that I would like to keep. And acceptable is the minimum, which is 5% growth every single month. And I'll just show you where this leads. So 30% growth means that 100,000 will be more or less achieved by, or with the stats that I started in August, would be achieved on December 2017. These are not dollars. I'm not sure why this keeps to be dollars for some unknown reason. So these are like 100,000. With 15%, 100,000 is reached by January 2019, and with 5% growth, it's reached by June 2023. I just had to do it. So far. It's not like I'm planning to do that, but I wanted to see where this actually leads. And this is not including current stats. So this is data-based prediction, which includes data that I have added later on. And this is based on all the views, so it's more or less based on this one. Yet we can compare those. So there was 5,324, which is the beginning, yep, and 5,027 because there was slight decline in September. However, the prediction was supposed to be higher, of course. Yet, October had a lot bigger raise. It was 50%, so it got somewhere between dreams and manageable. And on November, I actually outgrew dreams, the same as on December. I believe that I won't be able to grow to 20,000 right now. It would be nice to get those 21,000, yet I believe that the real viewership will be somewhere around 18, maybe 19,000. If I'm really lucky and some of the videos will hit later on, or maybe some of the older videos will get shared a bit more, it will be fine, because then I would be able to reach 20,000. And I'm not gonna lie, I would like to reach 100,000 by the end of this year. I would like to reach this one. However, according to this prediction, if I were to keep 30% growth, I would reach it in July. And I don't believe that at all, because that 30% won't be manageable for me at all. Most likely. And let's go. I'll show you the stats for this, just graphs. So you can see all these numbers within the graph. So this is dreams, this is manageable, this is acceptable. You can see that it grew a lot more over acceptable. You can see that in manageable it actually like staggered a bit here and got up. So this is the difference it makes when you just have, let's say, 1,000 extra, 2,000 extra right now. In the end, it actually makes about 150,000 difference, or 100,000 difference, which is pretty neat. In here, of course, it makes even more because the percentage, but hey, this is pretty weak still. If you take a look here, this is 40,000, this is 250,000, this is 2.5 million in 24 months since the beginning. So that is unrealistic. Simply unrealistic. Well, and now let's just get this, and well, I'll just shove in some... What gameplay should I shove in? Yeah, let's shove in some Hearthstone. I haven't seen that one for a while on the stream, and let's talk about what's going on, what's coming out. So, as I said already, on 28th of January, I'll be arriving at Lithuania for Erasmus, which is a student exchange program in Europe, and I'll be there for half a year more or less. I'll be there for 5 months until probably until the 30th of June, And meanwhile, I'll be living in dormitory, which might pose a bit of a problem in terms of recording because I won't have a solo room. I'll have a roommate, which I'm used to have, but the current roommate is my girlfriend, and we have our own flat with our own study room, which is pretty high standard, and I'll have to get used to something else. Yet, the fact that I'll be living with someone else doesn't have such a big issue, because very often I'll just have to record like 1 hour or maybe just 5 minutes or 10 minutes. The performance videos actually take about 5 minutes of talking and about 2.5 hours of silent testing and another few minutes of editing, few dozens of minutes of editing. And that is fine. However, LPNAs might be a problem because that is more or less me talking 30-40 minutes straight. And if my roommate is there, that will be extremely annoying. Extremely annoying. So what happens right now is that I am creating myself a reserve in terms of LPNAs and some other videos. Which means that the content, if you comment, and I still encourage you to comment on videos, the comments might not be taken into consideration the next few videos, maybe even a month, simply because I have this reserve, and if you tell me something that I don't know, I might not, it will not be shown in, let's say, maybe next 10-15 videos. It might be shown in the 16th video, since the comment itself. And it is simply because of the fact that I have right now some time and I can spend on weekends like 6-8 hours on just recording and doing stuff, yet I can't really afford, I probably won't really afford to spend an hour and a half a day or an hour a day as I do right now on YouTube when I'm on Erasmus, simply because I don't know Lithuanian and I'll be learning a lot of Lithuanian. Second of all, I'll be probably learning Spanish, which I don't know at all, so there will be A1 level of that. And I might actually start learning German again. However, I know the basics, it might be fine. Yet there will be the school will be new, the whole region will be new, I'll want to travel a bit, and most of all, I might have teaching practice in English there, because I am a teacher trainee right now. I'm studying my MA, my finishing more or less my MA degree. If I were not to go on Erasmus, I would finish my MA degree this semester, in spring semester right now. However, I'll be finishing it on autumn because I want to go to Erasmus when I can actually. And there is an option that or a possibility that I might be teaching on a local school somewhere there, which, depending on the amount of lessons and difficulty of lessons, will take some time. As I already had teaching practice here, I know that in order to prepare, I really need to spend, for example, 2-3 hours just planning, just seeing whether it works or not, because I don't have enough practice to just, do it in 15 minutes and then teach right away. That thing teachers can do after 1 year of daily work, not really beforehand. So I'm really looking forward to this, but it will take a lot of time. And if I want to combine it with socializing with people and other things, then YouTube would starve to death actually. And I wouldn't be able to A, continue with a video a day, B, continue maybe even with 3 or 4 videos a week. So I have to do this reserve. And this reserve will be done mostly via LPNAs, as there's 4 LPNAs in a week, and there are 3 other videos, or 2 other videos very often. I might start introducing reviews again. So I'll probably do some backlog of reviews of the games that I have on my Steam library, and I wanted to do those reviews, but I just wasn't able to. And those might be released on Sundays. and there I would continue with 2 performance videos a week, most likely, where one of them would be 940M and the other one HD. And maybe some comments. I'll maybe add some Hearthstone later on, simply because I'll have to fill in any empty spaces. And for once, it might actually occur that I won't be releasing a video a day. As simple as that. Yeah, that's it. That's the challenge for right now. Me leaving and trying to keep everything going in here, which I hope that I'll manage. Well, and you know it. If you want to help me, just share it to your friends. Share everything to your friends. Just promote the channel as much as you can, because the fact that more viewers will get onto the channel will get it into higher priority within my life, simply because it will seem that more people like the content and more people might relate to it and wait for it. So that's it. Right now it's just a hobby. Right now it's something that I'm actually enjoying and spending an hour a day extra, more or less an hour a day extra, just for the funsies. Simply because I want to play those games and I want to think about those games slightly differently. And actually recording it and vocalizing it helps me a lot, because I can analyze it afterwards so slightly better. I can actually focus on whether this it's not anymore just okay, I don't like it, I like it, but I'm really trying to see why I like it or why I dislike it. And as more or less everyone knows, talking out loud helps a bit, because once it very often happens when you're learning foreign language, right? Or your own language. In, for example, written form within your own language. If you have some grammatical feature which is like weird, or maybe weird spelling, and you write it incorrectly, you're like, oh, this is weird. And the same thing happens if you are learning for a language and say something out loud and that doesn't sound correct. So the same thing is actually with this. It's like, okay, I don't like it. Why don't I like it? And once I actually hear that bullshit coming out of my mouth, I am like, wow, that's not actually it, is it? It must be something deeper within it. Let's go deeper. So yeah, that's it. That's why I'm doing this, and that's why I'm enjoying it. And I hope to keep it up, because I wouldn't like to lose all this progress simply because I'm leaving for half a year and my 9 months of progress might be just lost because of that. Yet it's still just a hobby, and maybe losing a hobby is not such a bad thing, but I don't want to do that. I've spent enough time on this, and if I were to, let's say, instead of YouTube, focus on English grammar and sociolinguistics, I would probably be the best sociolinguist at my university. That would be it. Considering the amount of hours that I've spent on it, it's like 400, 500 hours, maybe even more. Yeah, maybe even more, including all these little things around. For example, there's a stat at the end, which I haven't shown you, which is this one. And I started doing subs here, English subs. I started, they are automated, but I started really redoing them because it is a hard time understanding my accent. And, well, I stopped in December because I wasn't able to actually spend half an hour every other day just improving Google automated closed captions. That's it. So when I did this, it was like 20 videos. 20 videos is like 10, 12 extra hours. If I were to spend 12 hours on learning Lithuanian, I would probably be better off, as I see. However, I might get to it back later on if the viewership once again increases and some people request it. I might do that. So, I hope that you enjoy this a bit. If you want to comment somehow on the stats, if you want to give me some feedback, if you want to give me some notes, if you want to just say that I'm rubbish and I should stop, or that I should continue, and something else, anything you want to comment on, well, feel free to comment down below. Also, if you have your own channel and you would like to use this table, it is downloadable on the link down below. It's not including my stats, it's including the ones that are not, even those that are not here. These graphs are there, just, you know, change the name of the month and so on. Yet, what I'll do is like give here averages, so you can just change it afterwards, but you can see whether you are actually keeping your average or not, which is also useful. And well, thanks for watching and see you next time.